Good morning, everybody. J.R. Fisher here. It is Thursday. My gosh, it is the 1st of April already. We've already covered, a quarter of the year? That's hard to believe, right? I mean, that's like, wow, I can't even believe it. But we did, and we got through it, and we're all okay, and that's a good thing. And don't forget also to subscribe, ring the bell, turn on all bell notifications so you're notified every single time I go live or I upload a video, of which I've been doing every day now. These sessions are for you guys, so 100%. What's going on, James? 100%. You can ask anything you want. This is absolutely free, not selling you anything. I'm just trying to help you start, run, and grow your business. Today, we're going to talk about continuity, and I think you're really going to like it. It's pretty cool stuff. But I want to let you know that if you have another subject you want to talk on, as long as it has to do with making money online, you are welcome to do so. I welcome any questions, comments, suggestions, whatever. Put that in the chat section. If you're not watching this live, that's cool too. There will be a comment section below the video, and he says loud and clear, cool. Only in Only in the 50s today. Oh my gosh, man, we're going to be like 87 today, James. So we got it pretty warm today. Pretty neat stuff. But today, we're going to talk about continuity. I'll explain what it is and all that. Probably one of the coolest ways of selling anything is through continuity, and it can be used. And I'm going to explain it in just a second. But it can be used for physical products, digital products, all kinds of different stuff. But I love getting your questions, so please put those in that chat section there. I love seeing what you're questioning and what you want to know about. I love answering them as long as I have the expertise in that area. I don't know everything about selling online, but I've covered a lot of areas. We've sold millions of dollars of products online. I still kind of pinch myself when I see that. I remember when I thought about selling stuff online, my whole goal was to be able to make about half what I was making on my job, because I was so miserable on the job. I just thought, well, if I could make half as much, I could just get by, and that's all I wanted to do. I had no idea how much money I could have made. Yes, I have hit the like button. Good. Yes, everybody hit that like button. Don't forget to do that, whether you're watching live or not. And you got to do that on every one of my videos. It doesn't you can't like this one and it applies to all of them. You got to do it to all the videos. But let me kind of explain to you what continuity is. Continuity is probably the coolest thing since sliced bread. I mean, I really, really, really like continuity. It has supported my business so much, and really all it really is it's a form of payment. Now, if you think back when I was a kid, there was Publishers Clearinghouse, and you can put in there if you've ever heard of Publishers Clearinghouse. His whiskers are looking good. I don't know, man. I don't know about all this. I got to decide if I'm going to keep this or not. This is a whole thing here. But there was Publishers Clearinghouse, and what Publishers Clearinghouse did was that you could enter their sweepstakes to win $100,000 or $1 million. I can't remember what it was, some amount of money. Then they would show up at somebody's house with this big check, and they would publicize that this person won. But they also sold magazine subscriptions, and somehow it got into the public's brain that you had a better chance of winning that check if you were a subscriber of their magazine. So I remember my mother used to always subscribe to some magazines, and the cool thing about it was for them is that they got these payments every single month on magazine subscriptions, right? Or yearly on magazine subscriptions. And that was really a form of continuity. That's all that was. So fast forward to today, and you'll see things like the Bark Box, or you'll see, Thrive Market continuity. You'll see, all kinds of shipments that come to you. Wine of the Month Club, Dollar Shave Club. There's so many of these things where you pay a small monthly fee or a yearly fee, and monthly, whatever, you get access to whatever their products are. They can be digital products, they can be physical products. Masterclass, I think, charges $199 a year, and they bill you every year. Sirius XM Radio, your cable does it. If you've got satellite or dish, they charge you a monthly fee. And alarm systems charge you a monthly fee. I mean, I could go on and on and on. There's so many continuities out there, but I want to talk about how you guys can make money off this. See, I still get Publishers Clearinghouse. Do you really? I quit all magazines. I couldn't justify a magazine anymore. I mean, there's so many reasons not to get a magazine, I guess, is, first off, I don't have time to read them. They're more of a time waste for me. And, it's excess paper, stuff I got to throw away. I got to clean it up. And what really bothered me was with magazines is you pay a subscription, and then they start to pile up and you don't read them. And you're like, oh my God, that's just my money piling up over there. So those have died out, but other subscription type things have come along. So I want to talk to you about some of those. I have several different subscriptions, and I love them. I've done some with survival food, probably not as much as I should. I guess it's just because I have so many other things going on. There's no excuse, but I should do a monthly food thing where people can buy survival food, because that's super important to me. I'm a member of the Virgin Olive Oil Club. Yeah, I mean, and it's cool because you're going to use these products anyhow, right, James? I mean, I don't know that particular one, but I know I like olive oil. I'm pretty cheap. I buy the Costco olive oil, but it's pretty good. So how did I really kind of get involved in this? I wanted to do some courses. And I thought, well, let me do a course, and I'll do it at $27 a month. Okay, $27 a month. And I started a course. And I think the first one I did was either Ecom Road or Webcache Academy. I have both of those, I think, at $27 or $47 a month right now. And I had some people buy it. And I thought, wow, maybe they'll pay 2 or 3 months, and I could make $100 or something like that. But what ended up happening was, a lot of those people started paying $27 a month and just continued to pay. I have some that's been in there 3-4 years now at $27 a month. And you may say, well, $27, JR, that's not a lot of money, $27 a month. And granted, it's not a lot of money, but it's a numbers game, right? So $27 a month times what, let's say 1,000 people, that's $27,000 a month. It's $27,000 a month. Now think about that, $27,000 a month. And I don't do any more work for one person than I do for 100 people, because I do some live coaching calls, which is right here, and they can ask me questions. But I do the live coaching call for one person, or I do it for 1,000 people. It doesn't matter. And I still get that $27 a month. What is interesting is companies buying other companies for the list. Taste of Home magazine sold for $800 million. Shave Club for $1 billion. Of course, yeah, because you've got that built-in income. I mean, it totally makes sense to me why somebody would buy a base of subscribers. I tried to buy a survival food company that went out, and I guess they didn't maintain their list, so they had not much to sell me. But I wanted to buy their list. I mean, I wanted to buy their company, but all I really wanted was their list. You just sip here. So anyhow, I've got that $27 one. And I won't go through the names of all my courses, because then it sounds like I'm trying to sell them, and I'm not. I have another one that's $97 a month. I have another one that's $197 a month. I have another one that's $397 a month. Now, continuity can be a forever thing. In other words, you pay $97 a month every month if you want to be a member of this. Or it can be, a yearly thing where you pay $997 a year, $1,000 a year. Or it can also be you pay 3 months. Which is really just breaking down the payments of something. And I got to tell you, so I've got a 27, a 47, a 97, a 197, a 397, and a 497 a month. So I've got all of those. You can imagine at my 497, if I had, let me just take a look here. And I don't want to tell you what I'm taking in, because a lot of you wouldn't even believe me. You would say, no way. But yeah, way. The 497, if you calculate it out, even at 100 people, that's $49,000 a month. $49,000 a month for just that one, at only 100 people. Now, understand there's 7 billion people in the world. Do you think it's hard to get 100 people to pay you $497? It's not. Now, I'll tell you a couple other things I do on my continuities that really help me a lot. Is I don't just go for the continuity. I go for a lifetime after the continuity. So you have to have something like Kartra to pull this off. But what it is let's say I've got something for $97 a month. Matter of fact, I just had one this morning. That's why it made me think of it. And the person paid $97. Okay, they want to join. They paid $97 a month. I saw it on my phone. My little authorized.net said $97 a month. And what happens is as soon as they pay, it goes to a thank you page. And that thank you page says, hey, thanks for joining. I really appreciate it. You know, you're really going to love this. This is a great course. I'm here to help you. And all these things are true. But I want to give you a one-time special offer. And that one-time special offer is that you can pay another $300 right now. In other words, pay $397, and I'll give you lifetime access. You know, you would pay almost $1,200 a year for membership to this. So if you stayed a couple of years, you're paying $2,400. But right now, you can only pay $300 more because you've already paid $97. For $397, you can get lifetime access. The person that bought this morning bought that. So they went ahead and said, okay, I'll give you another $300, and I want lifetime access. So that $97 now turned into $400, $397. Okay. Now, why would I do that? Well, an average person on continuity stays. I've been told they stay 2 or 3 months. It seems like mine stay for a year. But the point is that way you're assured more payments. Because the thing with continuity, you're going to have, you know, a churn rate. Your churn rate is the amount of people that quit paying you, you know, after a certain number of months. Now, my churn rate is very low. And probably shouldn't do that lifetime thing because people keep paying every month, but I did it. And I turned that $97 into $397. So before I got out of bed today, and I'm not including my other businesses, I'm talking about this one course right here. Before I got out of bed today, I had $400 in my bank account, and I didn't do anything. And that $400 is essentially pure profit because that's a digital course. And when you think about that, that's pretty nice. And that person, I think, came off an ad. I got to check it later on. Let's see here. Let's see. Surprised you don't subscribe to an online trade magazine to stay up to date on trends and equipment. I still get Pizza Today magazine because I inspected restaurants. Yeah, I just don't have time, Paul. I really don't. If I had time to look through all that, I would. Pretty much my food business is on automated pilot right now. You know, I have my factory churning, I have my warehouse churning. Jessica handles all the orders there. I don't really get that involved on a daily basis with the survival food company at this point. You know, I will, and I'll talk to a customer and I'll do all that. But it's gotten to where, you know, when we first started that survival food company, people would call in, they had all kinds of questions about it. They wanted to know what it was. You know, how do you can this meat? How do you do all this? A lot of that information is now online. And back then, people didn't like to order online. You know, it was over 10 years ago, and they were like, oh, no, I want to place my order on the phone. I don't want to place it online. And I think a lot of people have come to the realization that when they called us up, all we did was go right back to our website and place the order on our website online. So saying I didn't want to use my credit card online doesn't really matter anymore. So what that did for our business is they don't call us. They just don't call us. We added a frequently asked question area to our website so they can go there and get all their questions answered. There's really no reason to call us. So since there's no reason to call us, I don't talk to very many customers. My customer support doesn't have to support very many customers. So what happens to lifetime subscriptions if you have a critical life change? You mean like if I die? I guess they're going to be canceled. Well, I mean, the actual course itself is still there even if I die. So, you know, my wife could continue that on. And she could, you know, keep doing it. Obviously wouldn't be updated by me, but that is a course that I started that somebody could actually buy that subscription base and say, hey, you know, Jim Rohn's a good example. Jim Rohn has courses out there that they're still selling and he's been dead for years. And, you know, they add information to it because they own the rights to his courses. So it can still continue on. That person can still pay and it can still continue on. They could certainly quit if they wanted to, but it's still good information. Which group has the lowest churn rate? What's the longest client you've had with you? I've got one, Paul, that's a good question. I have a lady that's been paying on one of my subscriptions, and I think it's been about 5 years now, and she's at a $27 a month rate. I could not tell you why she's paying for 5 years. I'm glad she is, but you know, about 5 years at $27 a month, and that particular course that she's paying for has 31 videos. So you would think in 5 years, you would have gone through all the videos. But here's the thing with continuity, and I want you to think about this, guys. if it is a low cost continuity, let's say it's $7 a month or $19 a month or whatever, and the regular price is $97 a month, but you sold it to them for $17 a month, they know that the regular price is $97. And they say, well, you know what, $17 is not a lot, so I might as well just go ahead and pay it. I'm not using it right now, but I may use it on down the road and I want to have access to it. Doesn't that kind of sound like a gym membership? Right? How many people join a gym and they get some discounted price, they get some discounted rate, some great deal, and they don't really go to the gym, but they have plans in the future to go to the gym. They're like, yeah, I'm going to go. I'm going to get back to it. So whether they go or not, they look at it as an investment in something that they have access to whenever they want, and it's a low cost. That's not something that really stands out on your bank statement every month, $27. And if it does, you got a weak bank statement, right? So bottom line is, a lot of people will stay in continuity because they got a good deal, they got in cheap. If they leave it and come back, it's going to be higher, right? So a lot of people will stay in for that reason. So yeah, I mean, it's a good deal for the person as long as they're going to use it at some point. But like I say, a lot of people won't cancel it just because it's so cheap. Let me get a sip here real quick. Do any of you guys either have a continuity where you're charging people, or can you think of a continuity you're paying for right now? I do have a gym membership and I pay it yearly, and it's like, gosh, it's LA Fitness. And I think an LA Fitness is about $400 or $500 a year now. But I got mine when I moved to San Diego, and I pay I think it's like $216 a year. So it's like so cheap. It's like, why would I quit that? You know, what would be the point in quitting that? It would make no sense. So do you guys have continuities? Any of you guys out there have one? Are you paying for any continuities right now? I know Paul said you're paying for that magazine subscription right there. The other part of your question was, which group has the lowest churn rate? Now, do you mean like a niche, or do you mean like one of my groups? And I will say this, guys, I do want to add something else to this. You're going to have a higher churn rate the higher the cost of the program is. I have a higher churn rate on my $497 a month one than I do my $27 a month one. And the reason being is people look at that, they go, well, that's an investment. $497 a month, that's an investment. Now, they get their money's worth. For sure they get their money's worth, but the point is that's a big amount of money to look at. And when it's a big amount of money, to look at, they're going to look at it a little bit harder. $27 a month is a no-brainer, but I begin to balk at $97 a month and up. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying, James. If it's a small amount like that, a lot of people, will go, it's not that big of a deal. It's not that amount of money. We looked at some of the subscriptions we had recently, and I mean every subscription we had. Your phone here, this is a subscription, okay? This is continuity. Every month you've got to pay a fee to have this phone, okay? Now I need a phone, and I need a really good phone, and I need really good service. So this is something that's really non-negotiable because I run my business off this, okay? It's a non-negotiable thing. I have to have internet for my computers. So I have internet in my house. I have very high-speed internet, the highest you can get, because it's a non-negotiable thing. That's how I make a living. If I didn't have internet, I couldn't make a living. I have Microsoft. Okay, every single month I pay Microsoft a fee to use their Microsoft Office stuff. Every single month I pay Photoshop. Okay, I pay Photoshop a fee. I think it's $9 a month to have Photoshop. Every single month I pay Adobe for PDFs, so I can do PDFs. Every single month I pay Photoshop. Okay, so I pay Photoshop every month. So as you can see, I've got a lot of continuity myself. And I want to talk to you about going over ours. Let me see some of the comments in here. I like the idea of building a free community that offers a taste of the quality information and a paid group for more intense information and coaching. This is interesting. I was part of Ryan Lee's group in Matt Basic. Matt's a good guy. I like him. Sid Harth, where you been, man? You've been hiding. Hey, how are you doing? Good news, JR. When you get on Medicare, Oh, come on, man. When you get on Medicare, you can get free gym membership. It's called Silver Slippers. Yeah, but what gym is it, James? What kind of gym is that, right? I don't work out like an old guy. I can tell you that right now. I don't work out like an old guy. The pizza magazines were free. Okay, well, that makes sense. But I just listed some of our continuities that I pay for that I think are non-negotiable because I have to have these things. Now we stopped and we looked at the negotiable ones. So we were paying Dish Network, or I don't know, whoever it was at the time, for television. Okay. Now I look at television as a cost. Not only is it a cost that you've got to pay every month to get access to, but it's a cost because it takes my time away from other things. And if it takes my time away from other things, it actually costs me money. So for me to sit and watch TV, it physically costs me money. That's how I look at TV. And yeah, it's entertainment, and I get that, but it costs me money. Major nationwide gyms. I would want to know what those are. I got to look that up. Silver Slippers. I'm going to look that up and see what I got access to. So when I looked at what we were paying for TV, and it was crazy. It was like $100 and some odd a month to access all these channels that I never watched. So we found one that was called YouTube TV, and YouTube TV had access to a whole bunch of channels, not quite as many, but a whole bunch of channels, and it was $49.95 a month or $50 a month, whatever it was. So we switched over to YouTube TV. And my wife pays that, and she was like, I'm gonna switch it over, I'm gonna save some money. I said, cool, as long as I get access to these channels, I want to watch them. So she watched my behavior, and my behavior started leaning more towards just watching stuff on YouTube. And I watched more and more stuff on YouTube. I would go, oh yeah, I pay Netflix, guys. I pay Netflix every month. There's another $13, $14, whatever it is. So as you can see, I've got a lot of continuities, but I was looking at this YouTube TV thing, and I was really not looking at a lot of the channels. I was just going directly to YouTube and watching stuff that I wanted to watch, only because I don't watch that much TV. So what I do watch, I kind of want it to be educational. So I like to watch a lot of food channels, cooking channels, travel channels, that type of thing. And lo and behold, one day I went to go to my YouTube TV and it didn't work. And I asked her, so this thing's not working. She goes, oh, I shut it off months ago. So what are you talking about? So I hadn't had access to it and hadn't missed it. She goes, we can get it back if you want. I just didn't see you using it. And that was so true. And you sometimes need to ask yourself, are you using these services that you're paying for? Now, I look at my subscriptions every month because most of the ones I have, I do use every month. What do you do? When do you find time for TV? I have a hard time finding any time for TV. I really do. Usually, I will work up until around 8:30. My wife and I will sit and we'll watch maybe a little bit of TV for about 30 minutes. At 9 o'clock, she goes out and takes care of her cats. I'm allergic to cats, so they stay in the garage. So she'll go there and take care of her cats. And from probably 9 o'clock to bedtime, I'll watch stuff on YouTube. That's it. That's pretty much my whole watching. I don't really watch TV at all during the day. No daytime shows, no morning shows, no news shows, nothing. All my news comes from my phone. I don't get any news from any news shows. I will occasionally watch a Joe Rogan interview. I like his podcast. It's pretty good, but I only want to watch the video one. I don't want to sit there and listen to one. That's pretty much my watching habits. Let's see here. Dan Meredith has Coffee with Dan and Espresso with Dan. Coffee is free. Espresso is $100 a month. Okay, I don't know him, but you know, there's so many out there now. There's literally thousands and thousands of podcasts. Guys, if you're not weaving continuity into your life, now I'm sure you're weaving it in there where you're paying for it. I get that. But if you aren't weaving it into your daily life as far as income, you need to do so. People told me this years and years ago, and I didn't do it. And then when I finally did it, I was like, why didn't I do this? Why didn't I do this? Because now every single day I wake up and I have money coming in every day. And the other thing continuity does for you, which I really like, is it smooths out your income. If you're selling products, let's say you're selling digital products, you're going to have a launch and it's going to go way up. You're going to make a ton of money and then it's going to drop off. Then you have no money. Okay. So what continuity does is it brings that money in every single month. Every single month you get payments from people. Do you have to give them some extra effort? Yeah. You know, I have some Facebook groups. I do some live trainings. They get access to me. They can send me information. I can help them out, but I don't mind. I don't mind doing it, so it's not a big deal. And the type of work I do, it's not like I've got to be in the office or I got to be at my house. I can do it from anywhere. I can sit on a beach with my iPhone and I can do a live training. Now, pretty soon we're going to be moving to Texas, and on the way to Texas, I probably will have to do my lives from a car or a rest stop or something, because we're going to actually drive there, because I won't be able to sit in my office and do this. However, you guys don't mind. I mean, do you really care where I'm broadcasting from? Do you go, oh my gosh, it's not as worthwhile because he's not sitting at a desk? You don't care. So fortunately, the stuff I do doesn't matter. But keep in mind, this continuity can be for services. So maybe you maintain people's websites and you charge them $1,500 a month. Maybe you help people with Facebook ads and you charge them $2,000 a month, and that's your subscription rate. Continuity can be many different things. Maybe you're an attorney and they pay you $395 a month and they can ask you any questions they want. So there's so many different kinds of continuities out there. Maybe it's a gift of the month club. Maybe it's a wine of the month. Maybe it's, like he said, virgin olive oil a month. There's so many things with continuity, guys, and people enjoy having a continuity. They just do. They enjoy having it. They like getting products shipped to their house. They like having access to courses. They like services. Maybe you provide counseling services. Maybe you provide coaching services. I've done coaching too, where people pay me X number of dollars a month. I don't really want to do that anymore. It takes up too much of my time, but I could make a lot of money doing that if I wanted to do that. When building communities, have you used paid advertising to build versus organic? By the way, I love your ads that pop up on YouTube. Oh, yeah, I got a bunch of ads going on right now. The other thing we did with the ads, guys, which is kind of interesting, is I have like banners, and the banners say things like, have you attended the webinar yet? Or don't you think you should attend the webinar, or whatever. They say different things and they pop up on your page. But understand, here's how they pop up. If you've been to my webpage, or if you've watched one of my videos in the past 30, 60, 90 days, or if you signed up for my webinar but did not attend, you're going to see those ads. If you didn't fall into one of those categories, you won't see my ads, the banner ads. They won't pop up. So the cool thing about the banner ads is they pop up and they cost me $0 unless you click on it. Now, if you click on it, it basically says attend the webinar. So if you click on it, I don't mind paying for somebody attending the webinar, because at the end of the webinar, we sell my course. Actually, it's a membership. It's a great membership, really. You need to check that out if you haven't. But that's a really great membership. How do you get into coaching? Coaching is pretty easy. I followed some of the path that Frank Kern did, and I started off with coaching, and it was like, I'm trying to think how I did it. I did a 1 hour phone call a week. You could email me up to 5 times a week. So you get 4 hours a month. You got membership to my group. You got a couple of my courses. I would give you a couple of my courses, and I started off at $495 a month. And then I went to $995 a month. And then I went to $1,595 a month. And then I went to $2,500 a month. And then I went to $2,000 an hour, one-on-one consultation type thing. But then when that happened, when I went to the $2,000 an hour, I moved over from individuals to corporations. So one of my last ones was a large credit card company, and I was helping them do marketing, and it was $2,000 an hour. But I didn't enjoy necessarily doing it for two reasons. The first reason was that some of the people that I was coaching did not have the same work ethic I did. So I would say, hey, by next week, I want you to get this done. I want you to do this. I want you to go over this. And then next week would roll around, they hadn't done it. And I would say, well, what happened? They said, well, this came up with my life, and this came up, and I had to do this first. I'm like, okay, well, then next week, let's get this done. And then they would kind of get part of it done. And it drove me bat crazy. I couldn't stand it, because I want people to get stuff done. I want people to achieve things. More ads in here. What's up, man? How are you, Mr. JR? I'm doing good, Morad. Good to see you. Do you have a group for survival food? Yes, I do. Survivalcave Food is on Facebook, and there is a group for that. Not the most active group in the world. I'm guilty of not spending a lot of time in there. And here's the thing. We make a lot of money on survival food, and it's like I don't have to put forth a lot of effort to make that money. So I tend not to, and that's a shame, and it's the truth. but that's not what I see what the future of my life is either. I like survival food. I made a lot of money off survival food. It pays all my bills every single month. Everything else is just gravy, but I want to work on those gravy things. I want to work on this channel here. I want to get this channel to where it's making me a lot of money. Now I'll tell you, this channel blew my mind yesterday. I was looking, a good CPM, in other words cost per thousand, on YouTube is around $4 to $6, okay, and then you get 55% of that. My CPM yesterday was $49. I was making $27. My cut, $27 off 1,000 views. And that is like, if you know anything about YouTube, that's mind-blowing. It's like those numbers are so big. I didn't even think they could get that big. I don't know why it is. Maybe it's my niche where I teach people how to make money, but man, it is like exploded. Let's see here. Currently, there are over 150 subscription boxes out there. Wow, I didn't know that. One made number one on Inc. 500 2 years ago. Any thoughts on subscription boxes for future survival products? I probably won't do it. And I probably won't do it because I don't have the variety of products where I could send you a whole bunch of different stuff every month. Now, what I will entertain doing is you make a payment every month, and you'll get, another case of meat or another 5 cans of meat or something like that. I will probably do something along those lines. But right now, I'm so focused on the courses I've got to finish. I'm still doing digital course designer, and that's going to be done soon. But it's like everything keeps interrupting me, and I've got to worry about what's going on every day. So that'll be coming out. But see, between Facebook Ads University, Digital Cash Academy, Web Cash Academy, Ecom Road, Digital Course Designer, my Inner Circle, my e-business toolbox, all those things are starting to generate a lot of money for me now. And those are the things I'd really like to focus on as opposed to just survival food. And I believe me, I appreciate the survival food so much, but I know in the long term I can make a lot more money on some of these other things I'm doing where I'm helping people. And I like the idea of helping people build a business and letting you fire your boss. I love that idea. I just read that it takes to create a successful business either on or offline. It takes what? I don't see the rest of that, James. I just read that it takes to create a successful business either on or offline. Don't know what you're saying there. I think maybe we're missing a word or two, something like that. But stick that in there so I can answer that for you. You guys, do you have any other questions? Anything else you want to know about continuity? I hope you can see that it's been very beneficial for me. A lot of you guys could do continuity. Why people don't do it, I don't know. I think I discussed yesterday, a friend of mine from my old job bought one of my courses, and they said, hey, maybe I'm going to cancel because I could watch your free stuff, and that's pretty much the same as your courses. And I knew that the little red light went off. I'm like, no, it's not. It's entirely different. There's a whole bunch more in the courses. So I went in and looked at the courses, and we have software that tracks how much of each video you watched, and she hadn't watched a single video. She hadn't done anything. So I said, hey, it looks like you haven't even looked at anything. Maybe you should at least look at stuff and check it out. And she's like, oh, I must have been watching the wrong videos. No, you just didn't do anything. You didn't do anything. So the thing I will leave you with today is do something. Do something, guys. Don't just sit there and talk and listen. Physically do something. If I were to come back tomorrow and I say, hey, Frank or Bob or Tom or whoever you are, I don't want to call out any real names. What did you do yesterday? What did you do to move forward? What did you do to make some money? James says it takes 3 years. Okay, let me read this again. Just read that it takes 3 years to create a successful business either on or offline. Yeah, I don't know. I started mine, and in the beginning I lost money. But by the end of 24 months, in my second year, I had made $1 million. The second year, and I don't mean between the 2 years, I mean the second year alone, I made $1 million in sales. That wasn't profit, but that was sales. Now, I couldn't tell you why. I couldn't tell you if it was timing. I couldn't tell you if I had a great product. I couldn't tell you, well, I could tell you it's work ethic. I will tell you that because I worked really hard. Love this conversation, but got to bounce. We'll check it out later. Okay, Paul, great having you here. So guys, just do something. Don't wake up every day and go to bed and you still didn't get anything accomplished. Do something. Why not do something? Why not leave some kind of legacy where people said, hey, look at all the stuff Dad did, look at all the stuff Mom did. Look at all the stuff my brother or sister did. Leave some type of legacy. I remember years ago, and I'm not picking on my sister, but I was probably a teenager, probably 19, 20, and she was 23, 24, and she said she was going to write a book. And I was like, wow, that is impressive. That is, man, I can't imagine doing that. I thought that was mind-blowing, because she was like straight A student and really sharp and knew a lot of stuff. Fast forward to today, and I've written several books, and she's never written one. Now, she has much more of the capability to do it. She's an English major. She's got all kinds of degrees and master's degrees and all this, but she just never did anything. I mean, and I don't mean she didn't work. She worked hard and she did all that stuff. But the things that are out of the box, like writing a book, how many of you out there would really, I mean, all of you probably considered it. Why not just do it? Doesn't matter if it's great or it's good or it's fantastic or it's a New York Times bestseller, but you'll never know unless you do it. Why not do something like that? And that goes with creating a course, that goes with marketing a product online, that goes with any of this stuff. You got to do something. You got to add action. So today, add action. If I ask you tomorrow, what did you do yesterday? What are you going to tell me? What are you going to tell me? I hope it's something good. I hope it is. Guys, I don't have anything else today. If you're watching this after the fact, let's say a week later, or a day later, a year later, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to ring the bell. It'll still be there. Turn on all bell notifications so you're notified every single time I go live, or what? I upload a new video. I can tell you all about it. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Love each and every one of you. If you're watching after this live broadcast, you can put whatever questions you have in the comment section. I swoop back by there and I answer those on a regular basis, so you can also get answers there. Thank you so much for being here, guys. I really appreciate it. James says, I'm writing a book and your constant nagging got back to picking the pen up again. It's all your fault, JR. Good, James. Create. Why not create until there's going to be an end to this, for me, for you, for everybody. Why not create until that very end? Why not? People want to know. They say the best books ever not written are in the graveyard right now. A lot of those people had some great books in them and they never got them out. Why not get that book out? Why not get that product out? Why not get that product out? Do something, guys. Thank you so much for being here, guys. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Let me go to my other screen. I never switched to my other screen, so I'm looking at the delayed version of me. Delayed version. You guys have a great day. Thank you so much for showing up. Love every one of you.